Okay, here we want to solve the given equation by the zero factor property. We have 16x squared plus 24x plus 9 equals 0. Okay, so we can go ahead and take a look at this question and we can say, okay, well, is there a common factor that we can factor out of all three of these terms? Well, they don't have anything, okay? And then we can say, okay, well, we can use the AC method to do this. But some cases we want to be able to find a shorter method to factor if we can see what's happening with this problem. If you notice that the first term is a perfect square, 16x squared is a perfect square. If you look at the last term here, 9, that is also a perfect square. Now, before we can proceed any further, we need to take a look at this middle term to determine whether or not we can factor it that way and quickly. So if we take a look here, here's our problem. And then these are called perfect square trinomials, meaning that, okay, this is what happens when you set a perfect square trinomial. So if we said a plus b squared equals a squared plus 2ab plus b squared, and the other one is a minus b squared equals a squared minus 2ab plus b squared. So the thing is that we need to look at this particular problem, and we need to ask ourselves, okay, is there a number, okay, or what is the perfect square for 16x squared? Meaning that what do we need to square to get 16x squared? Well, that answer is 4x. Okay, now the next thing is, what do we need to square to get 9? Well, the answer is 3. And now what is the sign in the middle? Well, it's plus, right? And so now what we need to do is we need to check to see if this actually works for this particular trinomial. And what I mean by that is, okay, well, we know that a is 4x, so we're going to take 4x and then we're going to square it, plus we have 2 times a, which is 4x, times b, which is 3, and then we need to take b and then we need to square it. So what does that give us? Well, 4x to the square is 16x squared. 2 times 4x times 3 is going to give us 24x. And then it's plus 9. So it does work. So basically what it's saying here is that the factored form is 4x plus 3 squared. And then we're going to set that equal to 0. But now we want to write it in an expanded factored form, which means this is the same thing as 4x plus 3 times 4x plus 3. And then we're going to set that equal to 0. So let's go ahead and answer the question. Okay, so they want us to then find the solution set for this. So the solution set now is to use the zero factor property. So we're going to set 4x plus 3 equal to 0, or 4x plus 3 equal to 0. So on the left, we're going to subtract 3 to both sides. And we get 4x, which is equal to negative 3. Divide both sides by 4. And then x is going to equal negative 3/4. Or on this side, we're going to subtract 3 again to both sides. We get 4x, which is equal to negative 3. Divide both sides by 4, and then x again is going to equal negative 3/4, which means we have the same solution, but it's a double solution. So therefore, we just need to write the solution set as negative 3/4 to this particular problem. Now let's go ahead and check our answer. We'll come in here, we're going to put in the negative symbol, put in the fraction 3/4, check our answer, and there is our result.